Wontumi, that's Bernardine Chubwesiakum, has been on what looks like a thank you tour, really, after his release, touching base with a number of persons who came through for him, including the leadership of the party, that's the NPP, and some specific individuals who also played some roles in his release. And following that particular release, we see him earlier today at the party's headquarters. Let's hear exactly what happened there.
Okay, President.
No size.
With the party support everything. I was seven Panama, that was yes.
That's Chairman Wontumi there earlier today. And then after this place, we understand he also went to the residence, in fact, he visited Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to express his appreciation to him for coming out there as well to show him some support while he was in the custody of Ioko. Take a look. And I will recall that. And right after that as well, we understand he also went in to show appreciation to Brian A. Champon, Dr. Brian A. Champon as well. And bear in mind that he's the one who got the bail for him, stood in as surety. But Brian A. Champon has been giving detail of what really he presented that met that 50 million threshold, and that led to that particular bail that he got yesterday, and he been released from the Ioko custody. Take a look.
His bail conditions. What exactly did you give?
A couple, some houses, you know, normal.
Some houses worth 50 million Ghana cedis?
Well, yeah, some houses.
It's Rock City Hotel part?
No.
No, you must be a very rich man.
I don't know what you call rich.
50 million cedis rich.
I don't know what you call rich. I'm a normal person. Well.
So we are hoping that by the end of today,
God is good.
That's Dr. Brian A. Champon there. Now, we're back shortly after this quick break. Dr. Jonathan Asante-Otchee, the political analyst, has been sharing his thoughts about this particular development. Stay with us. Release of Chairman Wontumi, and then also the visits that he's had today. Dr. Jonathan Asante-Otchee is a political analyst. He's a lecturer at the University of Cape Coast Political Science Department. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. I mean, yes, it's been released. For the many people who are seeing all of how things are playing out, it's a normal occurrence for the likes of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Kennedy Japan was at the Ioko office to solidarize with him as well. And then Brian A. Champon, who also came in and then got him all the requirements for his bail. That's some say it's normal. But you say that this is a bigger strategy that fits into a political agenda, a bigger picture. Why is that?
Say good evening to your viewers and to your good self. I think that, yes, I'm really convinced that that is the case because politicians don't do anything for free. And the motivations may be different, but the objective may be the same. And that is the fact that, look, people have a stake to claim in a not too distant future. And they have already made known these views and these motivations through their assigns. Dr. Brian Champon has been out there inaugurating what he calls an exploratory committee to go around to solicit the views of party faithful and others about a presidential ambition. Of course, Kennedy Japan has already made that particular view, to the public. Dr. Bawumia did not stop he did not stop, the thank you tour. He continued it to the point that he even found himself abroad. And so the stakes are quite high. Here is the case. These three individuals show up at a time that the party faithful needed them. And of course, the one who had been incarcerated equally needed them. And so it is about jockeying for position. Nobody can convince me otherwise. That is what it is. But as to whether whatever might have happened will have been to the benefit of another or will have gone to the disadvantage of another person, maybe only time will tell. But for now, nobody can convince me otherwise that within that utilitarian motivation, as it were, to secure the bill and to go according to the bail condition of Mr. Wontumi, there is that egoistic tendency, there is that self, let me put it, there is that self-preservation, agenda within all these utilitarian decisions that they took.
Brian Champon himself hasn't come out publicly to state his ambitions of contesting for the flag bearership. For Kennedy Japan and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we know because of what happened prior to 2024. They have those ambitions, or they've had those ambitions, and it's clear that that is not going to change. But, I mean, with this one gesture by Dr. Brian Champon, how is it going to work for him? Is it one that you see influencing the allegiance of Wontumi himself and then also the party people because he came in to provide all the bail requirements for Chairman Wontumi?
Yeah, you cannot discount that particular role that he played. There are others who could easily dissuade. Others who don't really support Bawumia will reinforce their views that when it became critical, he could not in any way create any magic for the party. And that in itself will inure to the benefit of Dr. Brian Champon. You cannot discount that. But as to whether that could create a situation where he will become the leader of the party, I think that is a different subject altogether. You see, sometimes when you find yourself in the public domain, the kinds of things that you say, that will come back to harm you. Those are the things that you have to be guarded. Sometimes I'm tempted to believe that politicians who tend to decide that they want to become president, when they have not in any way conducted themselves, that is presidential, what were they thinking in those periods? What were they thinking? You got yourself in the euphoria. That will come to harm you. The Senate saga will come to harm him. Those unguarded pronouncements that he made will come to harm him. So, obviously, this is just a stage. He will need proper management. And I think that as part of his political strategy, he may have to find a way of apologizing to all and sundry. And then that in itself could put him in a good stead, as it were, within the party itself. And that should be the best way to start with. Well, he's conducting this exploratory committee to find out. Maybe once that information comes to him, then he may decide not to contest or to contest. I don't think that he has not in any way denied those who are making pronouncement about him with respect to a presidential ambition. Once he's not done so, he cannot. He doesn't have to publicly declare that he intends to contest. But my worry is that there's a man who had an avowed support for Dr. Bawumia. What changed? So we just have to be very careful what we do today, because tomorrow is very pregnant. And I've said the same thing with respect to Mr. Kennedy Japan several times. If indeed he had a presidential ambition, there were certain things that he shouldn't have gotten himself involved in, and certain pronouncements he ought not to have made in the public domain. But that is a style. But that is a style that Ghanaians don't really understand. The people that you want to lead, they don't appreciate that style. But that being said, before the 2024 elections, the internal competition that took place within the party, presidential-wise, Mr. Kennedy Japan had a better message than Dr. Bawumia. And I said that time without number. It is not surprising that Dr. Bawumia lost the elections woefully. So Dr. Bawumia himself is a problem for the NPP. It's a dilemma, it's a huge dilemma. Do we sidestep him or we continue with him? So maybe time will tell. In a not too distant future, I think that for now, these three will be the leading candidate.
Right. I do appreciate your time on this. Thank you so much, Dr.